How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Dwight Howard's name has been appearing in the headlines recently, with the Grizzlies granting LA permission to speak with Dwight. Due to the devastating injury of DeMarcus Cousins touring his ACL, the Lakers look to pursue an additional center, but Howard's already 33 years old, hasn't been an all-star since 2014, and only played 9 total games for Washington last season. Here are 5 reasons why the Lakers should absolutely avoid signing Dwight Howard. Number 5, he's simply not a good fit. Even though he's still capable of putting up numbers, it doesn't translate to anything anymore. The Lakers already have Anthony Davis, who's more than capable of grabbing a dozen rebounds a game. JaVale McGee was an excellent fit last season, averaged a career best 12 points a game, 7.5 rebounds in 22 minutes, did his part and was a great teammate, had no issues with anybody. Howard's also not capable of knocking down the outside jumper, not an ideal fit with LeBron running the offense, he just clogs the paint, not a good fit for the modern NBA in general, cannot spread the floor whatsoever, has no range, only makes 6 3-pointers in his career, total of 63 attempts, will never be a good shooter. Teams can simply do the hack of Dwight every time, ruining the flow of the game. Already proven he can't handle the pressure on good teams, even though he won't even be a top 3 option. The team has to focus on their chemistry. With their new additions, new coaching staff, and bringing Howard along makes it more difficult. The young players on his previous teams didn't like him. Everybody on Team USA in 2008 all got along, were all friendly and cool, and Dwight was the only one who didn't really click with any of the superstars. Someone like Carmelo Anthony would be a way better fit than Dwight on the Lakers. Also, combined with the fact that Melo and LeBron are close buddies, the pick and pop will be deadly. McGee and Davis is a very solid front line, and 3-point shooting is more vital for the Lakers' success. Number 4, his disastrous nightmare tenure with the Lakers. Howard's 1 year with Los Angeles was an absolute atrocity at all levels. Viewed as the next best Laker big man, he stunk in every way imaginable. That was 6 years ago. Failed to live up to expectations, pretty much forced his way out of Orlando and was handed the keys to the franchise, lacked mental toughness and had a weak attitude, couldn't get along with Nash and Kobe. The team was supposed to be viewed as heavy contenders, was so bad at one point. They went 17-25 overall before ending the season 28-12. It was all Kobe Bryant who single-handedly carried that team to the postseason. After Bryant left every ounce of energy on the line, getting the Lakers to the playoffs before his injury, Howard was an absolute travesty in the playoffs. Not only did he get swept, but he was out the door in his final game with purple and gold in Staples, constantly complaining and stupidly getting ejected when his team needed him most. It was a brutal nightmare to watch Howard quit on the team, losing all the games by double digits, a combined 75 points to San Antonio, couldn't stay out of foul trouble, brought no toughness, and realized he couldn't handle the pressure. When his Rockets and Lakers faced off in the 2014-15 season, Kobe and Dwight exchanged words, telling Howard he was soft, said in the post-game press conference, "You can't help but like him, he's a teddy bear." Howard admitted years later, "I kind of hated him for saying that because I looked at it the wrong way. I think he was more so talking about my mentality, not how I am on the court, and I didn't realize that because all the noise surrounding him saying I was soft, and I hated him. I hated him for that moment." Ever since then, Howard hasn't been relevant at all and continued to fail to live up to his God-given talent, claiming he didn't realize what Kobe meant until now. It's simply too late. With his days dwindling down in the NBA, Howard simply doesn't have what it takes to handle criticism. Dipping away from a franchise filled with many iconic legends, having Kareem on his side, Jabbar also expressed his frustrations with Howard, saying he didn't want to do any work with the Lakers. Not only did Howard ruin his reputation and legacy, his tenure with the Lakers was so bad, it was even more disappointing than Kwame Brown. Yes, I said it. I'm not comparing the two by any means. At least Kwame won a couple playoff games and didn't complain like a baby. He just wasn't very good, while Howard's Lakers standards were simply unacceptable. After his failed tenure in Los Angeles, the fact that nobody else as of now is even remotely interested in signing him besides the Lakers draws extreme red flags, leading us to reason number 3. After his 3 seasons with Houston, he bounced from Atlanta to Charlotte, spent 1 season each with the ATL and Charlotte, provided little to no impact on those teams, essentially put up empty stats on mediocre teams, was no longer a game changer. By the end of the season, the teams couldn't wait to get rid of him. Former Hawks teammate Dennis Schroeder said, "Dwight only plays hard 4 games a year, all against his former teams, but the other games he shrugs," meaning he simply doesn't play hard most of the time. Given his insane body and athleticism, there was no excuse why Howard never became a 25-15 guy, never adapted or gotten better since 2011. One of the funniest NBA Twitter moments on June 20th, 2017, 8:55 p.m., Howard posted, "Okay, Twitter fans, give me your thoughts, trades, or otherwise, remember to be nice." A goofy post by Dwight was Woj bombed time less than 10 minutes later, announcing he was traded to Charlotte for Miles Plumlee, Marco Bellinelli, and the 41st pick for Dwight and the 31st pick. Years later, it's clear Atlanta benefited greatly from that trade. Now rebuilding and having a bright young team, Charlotte continues to stink. Trading him for 2 average role players seemed like an absolute joke, but it was 100% the right move. You're talking about the Atlanta Hawks, Howard's hometown team, getting rid of him just like that. And of course, the Hornets were relieved and had enough of Dwight after one season. The team shifted him to Brooklyn for Timothy Mozgov, 2 second-round picks, and cash, in which amounted to a salary dump, and decided to sign an overpaid Bismack Biyombo, an NBA boss who's nowhere near as talented as Howard. The fact that the team wanted to take a chance on Biyombo instead of Howard tells you a lot. And of course, Brooklyn did not hesitate to buy him out for his $23.8 million expiring contract, signed with the Wizards, played 9 total games, and that was it. Wizards GM Tommy Shepard gladly said, "Dealing Howard to Memphis was the quickest trade I ever done in my life. At this point, Dwight is just even more of a laughingstock. I wouldn't even say the word stock. He's just a huge liability." Leading us to number 2, his terrible attitude is another reason why the Lakers and every other contender should avoid signing him. From the time he wanted to get his former Magic head coach Stan Van Gundy fired, who built the team perfectly around Dwight, surrounding him with good 3-point shooting and allowing him to dominate inside, to his on-court disputes with Steve Nash, who made everybody better besides Howard. Nash said, "I think everybody could see it was going to be tough from the start. As the season went on, I think Dwight didn't hide the fact that he didn't like it. You either got to decide, I don't like this, so I'm going to say I don't like it and I move on, or you could just eat it." And you could tell he wasn't committed to moving on. He was stuck in the attitude, "I'm stuck and I don't like it" mode. Even the great Kobe Bryant said he didn't appreciate Shaq until he played with Dwight. Even Shaq himself decided to fully give Giannis the Superman nickname, a shot attempted at Dwight, and always pokes fun of Howard, saying he's no Superman. Even years after O'Neal retired, he still disses Howard to this very day, and I don't think it'll stop anytime soon. James Harden also couldn't stand Dwight, and former Rockets players said the locker room was so divided when you got there, you had to pick a side between the two, causing a hostile team culture. The guys simply sided with Harden. Houston was absolutely disappointing during Howard's 3-year tenure. Viewed as contenders, got destroyed and bounced in the first round by LaMarcus Aldridge in 2014, lost to Golden State in the conference finals in 2015, and almost missed the playoffs in 2016. After he left, the Rockets got better, Harden's career went uphill, Dwight's career fell downhill, and of course, former NBA center Brendan Haywood had this to say about the 8-time All-Star.
The locker room hated Dwight Howard. I'm not sure if Charlotte is rebuilding or if they're just trying to get Dwight Howard out of there, but it was clear the locker room did not like Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard has to look at this trade, look himself in the mirror, and realize, why am I a guy that has averaged a double-double every year of my career, but I'm getting passed all around the league like I'm trash?
Right.
And it's simply because of how he goes about his business day to day in that locker room. Now, he's not the guy that's running around slapping people in the face, but hard to deal with, doesn't accept responsibility, cries a lot, has bad tendencies, awful body language. And so all these things contribute to why he was shipped out of Charlotte. Listen, in Atlanta, everybody heard that the team was cheering when Dwight Howard got traded. They knew they were going to be sorry, but they were like, we would rather be sorry. We would rather suck than have this guy come back to our locker room for another year. And I'm hearing the same things in Charlotte. The people I talked to behind the scenes, it was like, guys were just sick and tired of his act. So I hope this is a wake-up call for Dwight. I still think he has some good years left, but he has to look himself in the mirror and say, why do all my teammates not like me? What can I do differently?
The final reason why LA shouldn't sign Howard, his huge distractions off the court. It's absolutely sad to see the younger generation and teenagers these days in the comment section disrespecting Howard for his off-the-court incident last year. People under the age of 18 will remember Dwight for the inappropriate jokes on social media rather than realizing how great he was on the court once upon a time. I'm sure it'll be very awkward for him when opposing fans boo him and call him names. Howard has the right to do whatever he pleases in his personal life, but if it's gonna lead to more distractions, Howard himself has to make smarter decisions and not let it affect his game on the court. Combined with a guy who can't handle pressure, the Lakers already have plenty of distractions, with LeBron being the center of attention, to Frank Vogel trying to coach the team, to Jason Kidd wanting to be the head coach, to Rondo's attitude, and when they struggle, Howard will get plenty of the blame even if he doesn't play, since he's an easy target to blame. Combined with the Lakers having a lousy front office, Howard complaining and crying to the front office won't do him any justice. Combined with the high drama, distractions, there's way more of a risk for signing Howard, and the Lakers seem to be the only team desperate enough to do so. What do you guys think Dwight Howard will end up? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you next time.